So, this week was a better week. I can't believe it's the weekend again. That's just really weird. Last week I talked about choosing to embrace my reality and choosing to make every moment that I have the power to control, to make those moments enjoyable. And I feel like this week was really a lot more enjoyable for me. I felt more in control of what I could be in control of instead of worrying about the things that are so unknown and mysterious to me. There is definitely something to embracing your reality. Today I wanted to talk about this transitional time and this time of change, which is what initially pushed me to just speak truthfully and honestly about the way I've been feeling. And that means being very open and honest about my beliefs and my spiritual thoughts and feelings, because that is really what is at the forefront of this time of change for me. And I really want to share that with you because my faith has helped me so much throughout really this past years when I really came to be really connected with my faith and to discover it. And I've learned so much in the past year. And now I just feel it really like taking form and guiding me to what's next. And I'm really embracing that now. So I just wanted to start with this idea that I came across after I had read my devotional a couple nights ago. So I'm just going to read you what the passage was so it'll make more sense. But this is the devotional I use if you guys are wondering. I really like it. So this was from August 29th, and it says, "Demonstrate your trust in me by sitting quietly in my presence. Put aside all that is waiting to be done and refuse to worry about anything. The sacred time together strengthens you and prepares you to face whatever the day will bring. By waiting with me before you begin the day's activities, you proclaim the reality of my living presence. This act of faith, waiting before working, is noted in the spiritual world, where your demonstration of trust weakens principalities and powers of darkness. The most effective way to resist evil is to draw near me. When you need to take action, I will guide you clearly through my spirit and my word. The world is so complex and overstimulating that you can easily lose your sense of direction. Doing countless unnecessary activities will dissipate your energy. When you spend time with me, I restore your sense of direction. As you look to me for guidance, I enable you to do less but accomplish more." So obviously, that has a lot of different stuff going on. First thing was that I felt like ever since I started school, I was in a way neglecting my devotional time, because in the summer I would sit down for like an hour in the morning, read this, and then there's like correlating passages. I would read those thoroughly in the Bible and write in my journal, and it was really like a thing I really did enjoy, and I did it every single morning. But with school starting, I found that that time was sort of being used in my schoolwork instead, because I needed to use that energy there. So I was sort of feeling this guilt in a way that I wasn't giving enough to my devotional and that I needed to spend more time on it. But I talked to my dad about it. Really what I need to do is just put effort towards it in some way. It doesn't need to be an hour long. It can be 5 minutes in the evening where I read through this and just think in contemplative thought, how do my feelings and how does my present moment relate to this? So that was sort of that first thing. I just want to say, never feel guilty or never feel like you're not doing enough to be a spiritual person, because just opening yourself up to that means so much. There are 3 things that specifically spoke to me as I was reading this. So the 3 things are 3 phrases really. Sitting quietly in my presence. The second one is refuse to worry about anything. And the third thing is, when you need to take action, I will guide you clearly through my spirit and my word. So this is something that I really needed to hear, because I've been in a state of mind where I feel like I'm not doing enough for whatever comes next in my future. I'm like, I don't know what that future is. I don't know if I'm doing what I need to be doing to get myself to where I need to be to fulfill my life's purpose. But this just reminded me that I'm in a place right now where I just need to be quiet and sit in God's presence, and when I need to be called into action, I will be called. And right now, I'm called to be in this transitional space where I just sort of need to do what I need to do, my normal life things, and I will be called. I wrote in my journal after reading that. I just wanted to read what I said because I think it articulates sort of like my thoughts better. Right now, I need to sit quietly in God's presence, not worry about anything, and trust that when I need to take action, God will guide me clearly through His Spirit. This is a weird in-between stage where I'm waiting for something, but I don't know what. And then I kind of switch perspective to where I'm like talking to myself, if that makes sense. So, yeah. So continue to do what you're doing, standing quietly in God's presence. Don't give in to worry and trust that when action needs to be taken, you'll just know it. I was met with the realization that instead of worrying and just like going crazy in my head, being like, what am I doing? Am I doing enough? Am I doing the right things? Should I be devoting time to different things? I just need to just go quiet. Don't worry. You're in this in-between stage where you need to be waiting. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing anything. But don't worry that you're not being proactive enough. You're not doing enough to get you where you need to be, because this is where you need to be right now. And I think a lot of you guys are in the same spot. We're all kind of like worried of what comes next. We're unsure of what step to take next. And I think this time where you are in this in-between stage is the time where we just need to be quiet, and those answers will come to us if we're open to them. And I really like the idea of a waiting room. Like if you're at a doctor's office or something like that, and you're waiting for your appointment, you know that eventually you will be called for your appointment. It's kind of like the same idea. Like you're in the waiting room, doing your thing, chilling out, sitting quietly, and eventually God will come forth and He will call you to action, whatever that is. And I think that in a transitional stage, there is some type of action that's going to be taken, because change is action. Maybe it's not something drastic for all of us. Maybe it's a simple change of perspective or of thought that leads you to something else. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that some huge change is going to happen, but I know that in transitional times, there is some type of action that will be taken that will lead you to the other side of that transition, because change starts one place and it ends in another. I just felt like I gathered a lot from that one passage the other night, and it helped me feel a bit more calm in the way I was feeling. I still feel like kind of just freaked out in a way about my future, but I don't feel freaked out anymore. I more so just feel like this anticipation, like what is it? You know, it's like you just want to know. Obviously, we kind of want to know like what's our future gonna hold, but at the same time, you just have to be faithful and trustful and know that there's good things coming. Right now, we just need to just sort of wait to be called to action while doing good things and doing things that we know are good and will get us to whatever is next for us. I was doing my devotional today. Today's Saturday. I tried filming yesterday, and some spirit did not want Greta to be spreading the good word, because I sat on this bed right here and I tried to film it, and all of a sudden my memory card stopped. Like my memory card was full or something, and it didn't even like shut down or anything. It just looked like it was still recording, but it wasn't. And then I tried it again. Like I tried to like just continue to from where it left off, and then it just shut down. And then my entire tripod fell over that was on the bed. It just collapsed, and I felt real freaked out. Anyway, so today's Saturday, and I did my devotional this morning. I had extra time because I finished all my schoolwork, which was awesome. I actually have a weekend this weekend, unlike previous weekends where I was just working. But enough about me. I had the time to do a devotional today, which was like the ones I did in the summer, where I really like devote time to just reading through the Bible, and it just gives me such a good feeling. I can't even explain it, but like I opened up the Bible for like after like not really diving into it that deep for a couple weeks, and I just felt like giggling. Like I felt so happy. It's just like I just felt this like feeling in my heart that just felt so good. I wanted to read a couple of the passages, quotes, I don't know what you call it, from the Bible that I found that just sort of made me feel confident in where I am in this transitional stage. And I know so many of you will be able to relate to this, and I hope it kind of just puts a little ease on your heart and on your mind. So The first one is from James 4, verse 10, and this is actually the footnotes of my Bible. It's like a learning Bible. There's sort of almost explanations for the verses. So this is what this one said. To be humble involves leaning on his power and his guidance and not going on our own independent way. So I feel like in this world, in our society, we're sort of encouraged to like choose things just sort of mindlessly sometimes. Not in all cases, obviously. It depends on the person. But we sort of feel like we have to be very independent and choose to do one thing and do that and not relate that change to something spiritual. So I just felt good knowing that I'm not choosing to go on my own independent way. I'm choosing to really just say, here I am, God. Please use me for whatever my purpose is, whatever you need me to do for you, for your purpose in this world. And I'm not on my own in this. So all of you guys who are unsure of how you feel, know that you don't have to go on your own independent way. You can rely on God to lead you to whatever is next for you, because I truly believe that all of us have a purpose in this life, and it's up to us to be open to whatever that is. So this is James 4 verses 13 through 16. I think this is also the footnotes, so like the learning part of it, if that makes sense. Not directly from the verse. I don't know. Okay. It is good to have goals, but goals can disappoint us if we leave God out of them. There is no point in making plans as though God does not exist, because the future is in his hands. So again, it's that idea of not choosing to just go on your own independent way and mindlessly choose to do something with your future or your life or your present moment with your time. It's wise to have goals and to acknowledge those goals, but to not put those at the forefront of our minds where if we don't reach them, we'll be disappointed. Because without God in our goals, in our dreams, those goals are kind of empty in a way. They don't have some force backing them up as great as God is. There is no point in making plans as though God does not exist, because the future is in his hands. So this made me feel even more confident in the fact that I'm just choosing to be open to whatever the next thing is and not feel like I need to choose that. But it added to my confidence that whatever it is will be revealed to me. Just like that, the idea of when action needs to be taken, God will call us to that. It sort of all relates. So I really liked that. This next quote is from Proverbs. Proverbs? Is that how you say it? Sorry, I don't know. 3 verse 6. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. So if we're open to God, if we're open to his will for us and for our purpose in life, then he will lead you to what you need to do. He'll show you which path to take. And sometimes we need to just be patient. I was reading through my journal, and there's this specific thing that I wrote. I don't know if it was like a footnote for my Bible or one of these other books that I was reading, but it says, faith shouldn't die if the answers come slowly, for the delay may be God's way of working his will. I like the idea of divine timing. Maybe something will delay you from doing one thing, but it's because you need to just learn more, expand on your thought and your ideas, and then put it out into the world, whatever that may be. There is timing to things, and there is times when you need to learn before you act, and I choose to trust in that. So this last quote that I want to share is from Isaiah 40 verse 6. A voice said, "Shout." I asked, "What should I shout?" I really related to this when I read it this morning, because that's how I've been feeling. I know in my heart, in my soul, that I need to be speaking my truth and shouting it out for anyone who will listen. And sometimes I feel like, okay, well, I know I need to do this and spread spread God's word, really. But what should I shout? And I think that it's just all of these things combined that I've sort of touched on today. Is just being patient and faithful and open, and you'll know what to say. You'll know what will lead you to what is next. And something's just very special about that. I wanted to share one more thing that I really liked. Proverbs? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know how to say that. I probably should. Proverbs? I think it's Proverbs, right? It's the footnotes of my Bible again, verses 5 and 6. This thing, okay, for all of you who are dealing with change, just listen to this and really just, I loved this when I read it. Guys, I keep trying to read this verse and my camera keeps shutting off. When we have an important decision to make, we sometimes feel that we can't trust anyone, not even God. But God knows what is best for us. He is a better judge of what we want than we are. We must trust Him completely in every choice we make. We should not omit careful thinking or belittle our God-given ability to reason, but we should not trust our own ideas to the exclusion of all others. We must not be wise in our own eyes, but be willing to listen to and be corrected by God's word and wise counselors. Bring your decisions to God in prayer. Use the Bible as your guide and then follow God's leading. He will direct your paths by both guiding and protecting you. So I just wanted to end by saying that. I just really liked that, and I think it's really relates to this time of change that so many of us are feeling. So I thank you guys for listening to me today. I hope that reading some of these verses has sort of brought a bit of ease to your heart. I will list them in the description box if you want to read the full sections of the Bible. I don't even know what they're called. Not just the verse, but the whole thing. You know what I mean? I'll leave them down below if you want to look at them. Because they're all they just seriously make me make me giggle out of happiness. I've never had that experience before except for today, but I was just reading my Bible and I was just giggling. I just felt so good. Thank you for watching. I love you guys, and I really want you to know that. Okay, I was just trying to end my video and it said record, and then I came back over here and I finished talking, finished doing, a little talking, a little outro. I go to turn off the camera and it wasn't even recording, even though I saw that it was recording. This is kind of creeping me out. Anyway, I was saying thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for sharing your feelings and being vulnerable and sharing your stories, because it means so much to me, and I know it means so much to everyone else who's going through this time of change. And we're all going through it together, and that just warms my heart so much. We're all in this waiting room right now, but we're all going to be called forth together as one. We're just all supposed to be here right now. I just know it, and you guys are amazing. I love you, truly. Share how you're feeling in the comments. Tell me how your week went. Tell me how this time of change is going for you, what you're doing to sort of ease your mind and your heart, or if you don't know how, I'm sure we can all help you in the comments. So thank you so much. I love you guys. And I will see you next Friday, as long as this ghost stops turning off my camera. Bye.